In this lesson, we're going to learn how to practice our arpeggios with the metronome. Here it goes. Hey guitarists, this is Mike from Guitar Essentials. And in this lesson, we're going to learn how to play our arpeggios with the metronome. So what we're going to do is we're going to take two arpeggio forms in G major and G minor. We're going to learn them first, and then we're going to apply how to practice it with the metronome. So we're going to start with our C-shape arpeggio in G major. And the way we play this is our fourth finger is on the 10th fret of the 5th string. Then our third finger goes to the 9th fret of the 4th string. Our first finger goes to the 7th fret of the 3rd string. Second finger to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. First finger to the 7th fret of the 1st string. And then we're going to hammer on, depending on how we're doing the arpeggio with the metronome. Sometimes we're going to hammer, sometimes we're going to pick every note. And then we go to the 10th fret on the 1st string with the 4th finger. And then you play it backwards. All right, so that's our arpeggio. The system we're going to use is first we're going to pick the rhythms per note. We're going to do 8th notes, triplets, and then 16th notes. And then we're going to do those as 8th notes, triplets, and 16ths individually. So what I'll call this is part 1 with the major arpeggio. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our Korg metronome, the MA-2 to 80 beats per minute. So what we're going to do first is 2 notes per beat, or called 8th notes. So one's on the beat, one's off. We count at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Next, we're going to do triplets. So that's 3 notes per beat, 1 on the beat, 2 off, and we count it 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And next what we're going to do is 16th notes, so that's 4 per beat, and those are counted 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. And so now what we want to do is we want to go from 8ths to triplets to 16ths without stopping. And that gives us a lot of rhythmic control. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's 80 beats per minute. What you would probably do is go up to 84, 85 if that was comfortable, and then keep going up faster. What we're going to do is we're going to jump ahead to 100 beats per minute and do the same exact exercise. So if that was easy for you and you want to follow along, you can. So this is at 100 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice in the right hand I'm alternate picking. That's really the only way you're going to get that fast at it. Also notice when you're doing triplets, the first note's going to be down, up, down. The next note's going to be up, down, up, and then it alternates between those. So next we're going to do this with a G minor arpeggio just to have a different flavor. Now you can do this with any arpeggio, this exercise, but we're just going to do two different arpeggio forms, the major and the minor. So the G minor arpeggio starts on the same G note with the fourth finger. Now we use our second finger on the 8th fret of the 4th string. Then first finger, 7th fret, 3rd string. Then second finger, 8th fret, 2nd string. First finger, then on the 6th fret, 1st string. And then the 4th finger on the 10th fret of the 1st string. Now this is not necessarily a sweep picking lesson, but if you're doing single notes like that, I would down pick ascending and then up pick coming down. So stick around, you'll see me doing that later in the lesson when we do individual notes. So let's do the same thing with the G minor arpeggio as we did with the major arpeggio. Let's start with 80 beats per minute on the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now a reminder is don't go up in tempo until you have that mastered and you're able to play it about 4 times perfectly. Then go up slowly on the metronome, like maybe up to 84 or 85. If you get that down, go up to 90, etc. We're just jumping to 100 to have a little bit more speed for the sake of time in this lesson. So here's 100 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now part 3, we're going to go back to that G major arpeggio, but we're going to play single notes for the 8th notes, triplets, and 16ths. So we're going to go do a hammer-on on top, pluck again, pull off. And we're going to do that each time. And the reason being, then it will fall into the right rhythmic grid. Right? Because then it has to be an even number for it to work out with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when it repeats, we'll hit that G note again. So now we're going to do 80 beats on the metronome with these individual notes. We're going to do each round twice. So 2 groups of 8th notes, 2 groups of triplets, 2 groups of 16th notes. Again, we count 8th notes, 1 and 2 and. We count triplets, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, and we count 16th notes, 1 E-enda, 2 E-enda. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then the same thing applies to the metronome. If you're comfortable with that, go up to 84, 85. It's not a perfect science, but go up incrementally. I wouldn't go up to 81. It's not much of a big difference. Now let's do it at 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now notice I may have been off on a couple of those and then I try to make up for it. What I would probably do in that case, I would go back to maybe 90 beats per minute and work that out. And the more you practice this, and I prefer that you do it daily, for even 5-10 minutes, this exercise, you'll get better and faster each day. Now, part 4, we're going to do the same exact thing, but we're going to do it with the G minor arpeggio. And we're going to start it at 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to do it at 100 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's it. Again, try to keep increasing your speed on the metronome. Go in slower increments than I did. I wouldn't go from 80 to 100 unless 80 is really easy. I mentioned that this is not a sweep picking lesson necessarily, but this will help. So we're going very slow, but you want to make sure that you practice down picking on the way up and up picking. Some people may alternate pick. That's totally fine. But if you eventually want to learn how to sweep pick, this is a great way. Just make sure you're going smooth down and smooth back up instead of hopping with your pick. Also, I want to let you know you can download my free PDF of Arpeggio Etude 1. Link is in the description as well as the comments. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next lesson.